And a boot to Baszler. Takes Baszler out of the mix. Charlotte.
WWE icon to return after 10 years and dethrone Charlotte Flair immediately after WrestleMania. Exploring the possibility, former women's champion AJ Lee departed the Stamford-based promotion in 2015. Since her husband, CM Punk, returned to WWE in 2023, fans now desire to see Lee back in action. AJ Lee was one of the pioneers of the women's revolution and etched her name in the history books as one of the most decorated stars in history. Recently, the 38-year superstar shared a picture of her toned physique, hinting that despite being away from professional wrestling for a while, she remained in shape, sharing her picture Lee captioned, "Mama making progress." It was also reported last year that if Lee were to return she would do so in a memorable scenario rather than have a one-off appearance. Nothing would be memorable than taking on Charlotte Flair upon her return and dethroning the Queen. Former women's champion AJ Lee departed the Stamford-based promotion in 2015. Since her husband, CM Punk, returned to WWE in 2023, fans now desire to see Lee back in action. AJ Lee was one of the pioneers of the women's revolution and etched her name in the history books as one of the most decorated stars in history. Recently, the 38-year superstar shared a picture of her toned physique, hinting that despite being away from professional wrestling for a while, she remained in shape, sharing her picture Lee captioned, "Mama making progress." Lee will most likely be at WrestleMania 41 to watch Punk potentially main eventing night 1 on the show. The 38-year-old could confront Charlotte Flair if she wins the title against Stratton. This would push AJ Lee to come out of retirement and challenge Flair for the title at Backlash, where she could end Charlotte's reign immediately. This would be a perfect return for the former women's champion. That said, the angle proposed above is speculative at this point. Major SmackDown superstar wants AJ Lee back in WWE, it's not Charlotte Flair. While speaking with Metro, reigning Women's United States champion Chelsea Green opened up about facing the former Divas champion. The hot mess acknowledged that it would be incredible to have Lee back in business as she has contributed a lot to the evolution of women's wrestling. "I mean, AJ is another one that she really laid some incredible groundwork for women in wrestling, and women to have storylines that mattered. So, having her back would also be incredible," Green said. With WrestleMania 41 on the horizon, it will be interesting to see if AJ Lee makes her huge return to WWE. Unfortunate trend reveals WWE will end 7-year streak at WrestleMania 41. WWE is running wide open through one of its busiest WrestleMania seasons ever. The action really picked up with the 38th annual Royal Rumble, but since then, plans have drastically changed. New information making the rounds is revealing how the WrestleMania main events were heavily impacted this year. Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair secured WrestleMania 41 spots by winning the Royal Rumble matches on February 1. Flair later challenged Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship, while USO has challenged World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. The WWE Royal Rumble winners typically headline WrestleMania in one of the main events, but this year, it's rumored that the top men's match will be John Cena vs. undisputed champion Cody Rhodes, plus Bianca Belair vs. Io Sky for the World Women's Championship, which may feature Rhea Ripley. Big Match John and the EST stamped their WrestleMania tickets by winning the WWE Elimination Chamber matches on March 1. After the latest WrestleMania developments, fans have taken to social media to discuss how this year's big event will be the first time in 7 years that a Rumble victor will not be in one of the WrestleMania main events. Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura won at the Rumble the last time a situation like this emerged in 2018. The Empress of Tomorrow won the inaugural Women's Rumble, but WrestleMania 34 saw then-champion Flair snap Asuka's winning streak in the second match on the main card, while Nakamura failed to dethrone then WWE Champion AJ Styles in the 9th match of the 14-match card, which featured 3 pre-show bouts. WrestleMania 34 was headlined by then-champion Brock Lesnar retaining over Roman Reigns, while the final women's match aired before Nakamura vs. Styles with Nia Jax dethroning then-champion Alexa Bliss. Royal Rumble winners who have worked the WrestleMania main event since 2018 are Becky Lynch in 2019, Drew McIntyre in 2020, Bianca Belair on Night 1 in 2021 and Edge on Night 2, Brock Lesnar in 2022, and Cody Rhodes in 2023 and 2024. Updated lineup for WWE WrestleMania Vegas. The 41st annual WrestleMania PLE will take place in just 25 days. Below is the updated lineup. WrestleMania 41 will air live from Allegiant Stadium near Las Vegas on April 19 and 20. Peacock will air the big event in the United States, while Netflix will carry 4 interferences that could happen during Charlotte Flair vs. Tiffany Stratton at WWE WrestleMania 41. Tiffany Stratton is heading to WrestleMania 41 to defend the WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. The two wrestlers have proven themselves to be explosive enough during their brawls on SmackDown. However, this doesn't mean they shouldn't expect company in Las Vegas. Here are 4 stars who could interfere in their match at the show of shows. Number 4. Ric Flair could try to help his daughter become the WWE Women's Champion again. Hall of Famer Ric Flair is a big pillar, supporter, and fan of Charlotte Flair. The Nature Boy has cheered for his daughter for several of her matches from ringside. Thus, it isn't difficult to imagine that the legend could be there to witness her title match at WrestleMania 41. However, the Queen is currently a heel right now. Thus, there is a chance that Ric Flair could try to pull some underhanded tactics to give his daughter the advantage, as he wants Charlotte Flair to earn the WWE Women's Championship for the first time. Nia Jax could make Tiffany Stratton pay for betraying her. Nia Jax could make Tiffany Stratton pay for betraying her. Tiffany Stratton won the WWE Women's Championship after cashing in her Money in the Bank contract on Nia Jax. The duo had been close friends with each other before. But, Jax had to look over her shoulder every time to check on Tiffy, who had helped her win the title from Bayley at the 2024 SummerSlam. While the Irresistible Force received a title rematch, it ended in a DQ and the title didn't change hands. However, she will have the perfect opportunity to exact revenge on the Buff Barbie for betraying her at WrestleMania 41. If Jax costs Tiffy the title, she could later claim a title shot against Charlotte Flair. She could state that she eliminated the most number of wrestlers from the Royal Rumble, which Flair won to receive her title shot. 2. Becky Lynch could cause problems for Tiffany Stratton. Becky Lynch is one of WWE's 4 horsewomen alongside Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. The man was last seen in action in May 2024 where she failed to reclaim the Women's World Championship from Liv Morgan. While she has signed a new deal with the Stamford-based promotion after her contract expired in June 2024, Lynch hasn't returned so far. This, however, could change at WrestleMania 41 where big-time Bex could return as a heel. The man could help the Queen defeat Tiffany Stratton and win the WWE Women's Championship. Several rumors predict that Becky Lynch will have a new character upon her return, making this a likely outcome. Number 1. Trish Stratus could lend a helping hand to her new friend. Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton have formed a very close friendship with each other in the past several weeks. The Buff Barbie and the 7-time Women's Champion have released new merchandise together and also won a tag team match against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae at Elimination Chamber. The Hall of Famer could watch Tiffy's back in Las Vegas and prevent Charlotte Flair from playing dirty. Additionally, she could also keep an eye out for other wrestlers who may try to help the Queen win her 15th World Championship. It would be interesting to see if Tiffany Stratton is able to score a win in her first Mania title defense. Condolences. Charlotte Flair sends a message after WWE SmackDown. WWE superstar Charlotte Flair made a massive impact in the latest episode of SmackDown. The Queen has now issued a message, potentially directed at WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton, following her verbal back and forth with the 25-year-old on the Friday night show. On the March 21st installment of the Blue Brands show in Bologna, Italy, Flair and Stratton participated in a split-screen interview with Joe Tessitore. The segment became memorable because the Queen dominated the conversation, seemingly undermining the Buff Barbie's confidence ahead of their WWE Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 41. Taking to X, formerly Twitter, the dirtiest diva in the game sent a brutal one-word message after SmackDown, seemingly disparaging Tiffany Stratton. WWE veterans comment on Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton's segment on SmackDown. Dutchman